That demand is going to meet with typical seasonal demand, which will meet with our relatively low supply come spring. And so we expect... How's it going? I'm Christopher McGee. Welcome to the Numbers and the Nuance. Today is the 26th of February, and this is where you want to be coming every week to know exactly what's happening in Utah's housing market. I'm not telling you what happened last quarter. I mean, I can tell you what happened last quarter, but these are weekly updates. You know what's happening right now. No big changes this week in the market. So if you've been following along, you know how things are going. But in case this is the video in which you're first checking in, it's February heading into spring. And as we head into spring, our inventory, the number of available homes for sale, keeps coming down. It's lower than we want it, and that's going to mean that with the spring demand that comes, combined with the demand of people who felt like they couldn't buy homes across the last couple of years as interest rates rose and stayed relatively high, higher than they were in recent history, that demand is going to meet with typical seasonal demand, which will meet with our relatively low supply come spring. And so we expect a significant increase in home values to happen coming in March, April, May this year. So what I've been saying to people is that if you've been thinking of buying a home anytime soon in Utah, before that spring rush hits is going to be the best time. You know, right before COVID hit, there's always people who are wondering, trying to balance out whether or not now is a good time to buy in the market, right? And then COVID hit, home values went absolutely through the roof like they did, and there's a bunch of people who felt like, dang, they missed a great opportunity because home values went up so high, and that made it harder for people to get into the housing market if they weren't in a home yet. I think I'm looking at a similar situation. It's not going to be as dramatic as COVID was. In the year 2021, we had like a 30% increase almost of home values in that 1 year, which is mad insane. Normally we have like 5-6% increase in home values in Utah year over year, but it's going to be more than that this year, just based on how we're set up with supply and demand. So let's go ahead and check out what the numbers tell us and what the trends are showing us right now. Okay, we're looking at inventory of 7,090, and that is down from the previous week, still trending down. Our average days on market comes to 66 as of this last week's average, which is an increase from the previous week, and we can see this trending up. Our average list price this last week was $632,048. That's down from the previous week. We're happy to see it didn't bump up high again, at least not yet. It's barely above our current downtrend line, and we know it's going to be coming up throughout the next quarter just seasonally, but we're happy to see it not taking off just yet. Our average sold price last week came to $619,822, which means that the difference between list price and sold price as of last week was about $12,226 in the buyer's favor. That difference is down a bit from the previous week and back down from its recent slight trend up. The number of homes sold last week came to 448. That's down from the previous week, but still high over our recent trend line. So our trend from 2023's Q3 is moderately down, but this is trending up since the beginning of the year. Homes currently under contract comes to 4,891, still traveling up. That's up from the previous week. That's been trending up for a couple of months now. The number of price reductions we had last week came to 468. That's down from the prior week, and this is trending down. And finally, the number of listing contracts that were either canceled, expired, or withdrawn from the MLS this last week came to 240. That's down from last week, and we're trending moderately down with this data set. Just a reminder, if you're curious what that particular data set shows us, how many cancels, expires, and withdrawn listing contracts we have from the MLS, that gives you a measure of what the confidence that sellers have in the market is looking like. So as that number goes up, it generally tells us there are sellers who are canceling their contracts, taking them off the MLS. They're deciding not to sell after an initial decision to sell. And if we see that number traveling down, it's telling us there's a high confidence in our market. It's Utah, there's generally always good confidence in our market. But that's it for this week. So if there's any questions you have about any of the numbers I went over or anything that I said at all in this video, feel free to hit me in the comments and let me know. I'd love to respond. If you or anybody you know is thinking to move into Utah or into a home in Utah while they're already here in the coming months, I hope you'll feel free to reach out to me in the comments, call or text me. I'll be happy to team up with you or whoever it is that you care about and make sure that the process is done buttoned up right. And you know I know this market like the back of my hand. So I'd be happy to represent you in buying a home or selling your home or buying an investment property. And as always, if you want to stay educated on what Utah's housing market is doing, you can hit that subscribe button and be as educated as I am on it from week to week. Thanks for watching this week, guys. I'll see you next time.